choosing violently.
This is the QB Huddle Podcast, NFC North Edition, with your host, Tim Smith, Brandon Newey, and special guest, Robert Kent Jr.
Good morning. I guess it's afternoon. We've changed the time of our show to noon so we could accommodate all the lunchers, right?
Hello, lunchers and haters.
That's right.
People who don't know football.
So good morning,
Welcome.
good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome into the QB Huddle Podcast. I'm Tim. I'm joined by Brandon, as always. Man, what you been doing for the last week? Any big things for Father's Day? It was Father's Day Sunday. I saw you.
Yeah, that was a fun Father's Day weekend. Wife really made it special. Got some Meta glasses. That was cool. Got to play some golf with the bros. Got a little uneasy on the course, which didn't help out with the score. But before that, Friday, we won our back-to-back Juneteenth Classic.
You did.
That was really good, man. Yeah, that was awesome, man. That's a special time for us, me, Devin, Joe, and Ant, AGA guys. So, our league took the crown once again. We got a couple of other guys that are looking to join our league, but man, that was a good win, man. How about you, man?
Next year we're putting a team in, and
at least three of y'all.
We're going to come out and celebrate Juneteenth, and we're going to take that championship away from you. That's the goal.
I don't know about that.
That's the goal. Let's see. For me, it was a good weekend. I got to play golf. I got to play 18 holes of golf.
Finally.
And get up on Monday and actually be able to walk upstairs. So that was excellent. I feel very positive about that. I picked up my new Trek bike, so I've been riding bikes the last 2 days. Like you, I had the Meta glasses, so I took some video. Funny story about the golf on Sunday, and then we'll get into this. So, lady, the cart girl comes up. She's selling Fireball, right? I don't drink, but she says, hey, the last group I sold this Fireball to, they all got birdies. So me, just trying to help this young lady out and help out my brothers, right? I want them to get birdies. So I let all my guys know, especially Brandon, hey, man, Fireballs equal birdies. I think you should get a bunch. And he did. And so he was like 5 over on the front nine. But then that Fireball was like, it's like 90 degrees outside. And the Fireball started to grow fire inside of Brandon. And then he went 9 over on hole 10. And it was the descent of greatness. And I got to see it. And that was fun. And we blame the Fireball. Brandon took it in stride. No clubs were thrown. Nobody crashed a golf cart. All things that I've done in the past. If I'd done 9 over, I probably would have gone home. But man, you held it in stride. You did a good job, and you just continued to open up more Fireball, which I thought was courageous. So congratulations to you.
Had three, but I'm a little bit of a lightweight, and I'll tell you, when you get past double bogey, and you're not even close, something sets into you. Like it's like, did I forget how to play golf? Am I really that good of a golfer? Is my handicap that valid? What did I do wrong? Right? Do I need to go to the range? No, you just stick it out and you just take your score. It is what it is. Hey, didn't even count on the grant. We're good. And Friday,
get out of the way.
Father-in-law. And then Saturday, we have our AGA Zurich Classic, where you take randomized guys, put them together, take their quotas based on their handicap, total their points up, and they go get it and play their own ball. Should be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
I may be joining that. I'm not sure. I am signed up to
I think D is going to join. I
signed up to do an open mic on Monday. I didn't make the list. Too many people signed up, and I'm not a known entity yet, so I got to get in where I fit in. So let's get into this. This is a great week. We're down to the last 2 divisions. So next week we'll do the AFC South, I believe it is. This week we get to do the NFC North, what I think is the best division in football, at least my favorite division. I've been watching that division since I've been watching football. I've been obviously I got my Bears jersey on today. From Chicago, been watching the Bears since the 70s.
Indiana.
Okay, we're not talking about that.
Huh?
I will shut this show down and drive them to Kingston.
Oh, man.
That will happen.
Hey, man, I need to
only 30 minutes away. All right. But, hey, for this, we had to go out and we had to get a special guest because we know this individual is a Lions fan. I'm not sure how that happened. I'm interested in the story. I think we probably heard it before, but I'm old and I forget things. So I'd like to hear it again. But the great, the all-powerful, the legend, the Hall of Famer himself, Robert Kent Jr. from Jackson State University is joining us on the show. There he is. He's in the middle of us. Love that. We got the Lions stuff going on. How are you a Lions fan? Please explain.
Hey, man, you know that jersey that you got hanging up in the background right there that everybody can't really, they see those last letters, but they know that is one of the greatest running backs. Walter Payton, JSU, got to give him the love, but I am a Barry Sanders fan. That is one fan that when you say the human joystick that can stop on a dime, go left, go right, go back, go forward in full stride, that's something that I've never seen before. And it took the cake that time that he made Rod Woodson. I think it was Woodson tore his knee out of place. He jumped into a jump stop, went one way, Woodson went the other way, and the next thing you know, he was getting carted off the field. I said, yep, the baddest man to play the running back position that didn't have a line. You know, he was going up against the Cowboy great and Emmitt Smith, who had one of the best lines in NFL history.
Ever.
But we didn't have a line. Look at the stuff we were doing.
I agree with you. There's a reason that I own a Barry Sanders jersey. I love Walter Payton. He carried that Chicago team, but at one point the Bears were able to build a team around him and had a pretty decent offensive line. But Barry Sanders never had that, and he had moves that nobody else had. He could make defenders run into each other. There's the famous run against the New England Patriots on Thanksgiving. There's another one against the Cowboys in the playoffs where he makes about 4 guys run into each other. He was incredible. He also had a season where he had the most 80-yard runs without a touchdown attached to him in 1 year. So he had because he'd run an 85-yard run and get tackled at the 5, and so the touchdown. It was just one of those things. But he was amazing. He never had that flat-out speed, but his quickness and vision were next to none. So I agree with you on that. What'd you say?
Barry was rolling.
But he didn't have the flat-out speed, though. He got caught from behind a bunch. We can show some clips. I know they're out there. What'd you say? He's tired?
He's tired. Which, by the way, Barry still
80 people miss.
Barry still to this day has the greatest football turf shoe ever made. Do you guys remember those 94s?
I don't. I'm sure Robert probably does. He probably had some.
I bet you Mark can pull those up.
Yeah.
Hardest turf shoes ever. They need to bring them back. They'll sell out. You think Dion's are good? Walter Payton and Brett Favre had some fly ones. Sorry to get off subject, but it happens to be in the NFC North.
Well, let's get into this division. We've got the Bears. The Bears are the only team in the division that have the same quarterback, the same offensive coordinator, and the same defensive play caller. So they have it all together, right? Number 2, you got the Lions. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Robert, when we get into it, but Dan Campbell, the Riverboat Dan, is that still a thing? Is that still playing well in Detroit, or is there an identity crisis in Detroit? They had a little bit of an off year. They got a little bit older, but they've got some picks, right? They did good in the draft. Then you've got the Packers. I don't know where the Packers are. You got Jordan Love. He's good one week. He's terrible another week. He's on, he's off. The Bears got them last year. That was fantastic. And then you got the Vikings. The Vikings seem to me like a little bit of a mess. You've got your quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. Now you don't believe in J.J. McCarthy, so you've brought in Kyler Murray, and you've also brought in Carson Wentz. So we don't know who the number 1, who the number 2 is. It's a mystery there. We assume what we assume. Brandon, I know, has his own thoughts, but he also doesn't like J.J. McCarthy. Let's be real. He never has. But we're going to move on to this. We're going to get in first to the Detroit Lions. Now, the team that should have went to a Super Bowl a couple years ago, but San Francisco made sure that didn't happen. Yeah, maybe that was your fault. But they did good in the draft, right? They got a tackle, they got an edge rusher, a linebacker, a corner, a wide receiver, a couple of defensive linemen. They needed all this because they were getting a little bit old, and you let Montgomery go last year, right? So you're down to the one running back. Why you let Montgomery go, I don't know. But I'm going to shut up because this is your team, Robert. how do you see the Lions? Are they gonna be able to bounce back after a little bit of an off year last year?
It all depends on that offensive coordinator. The new offensive coordinator we got from Arizona, Drew, I think Petzing, if I'm saying that correctly. And I know he did a lot of 12 and 13 personnel match. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. He did a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. So it kind of goes with our offense, running back, play action, tight end, moving the ball around the field. But I'm still disappointed they let go Montgomery. I like Pacheco. He's a good downhill runner, but Montgomery gave us so much more, man. He was speed, he was power. You didn't know if you put both of them in the backfield, it was a dynamic duo. Pacheco, he ran well in Kansas City, but that offense was a little different than our offense. You know, they weren't a run-heavy offense. They depended on Patrick Mahomes a lot. He got his money because teams were watching out for Patrick. So, you know, he was able to run downhill, did a good job doing that. But I'm hoping to not say I told you so at the end of the year, but I know Montgomery's going to do well. I just hope Pacheco comes in and helps carry some of the load for Gibbs back there in that backfield.
What about the defense? Was it just that you were missing Aiden Hutchinson for most of the year? Or, I mean, what have you done? What have the Lions done to revamp the defense? Because that's what they're known for. The offense has been pretty standard, right? As long as Jared Goff can run the ball and play action off of that, he's going to be successful. What can this defense do to get better from a year ago?
Getting that second, I think he was a second rounder and more, the kid from Michigan. That's really going to help. You know, he had about 10 sacks, maybe 10 plus sacks last year in Michigan. And, you know, pairing him with Aiden Hutchinson, man, that dude's going to be a phenomenal player consistently for us. And since we know he's going to take two at whatever position he's in, that opens it up for everybody else. You know, we still got DJ Reader, you know, as a run stuffer in there. So we got some quality guys and picked up. Campbell's coming back for another year. He's going to be great at linebacker. I think he had 5 picks last year. Joseph at the safety. I still think we need to get a couple more corners to solidify those corners, those DB positions. But we'll see what happens. You know, it's still, I ain't gonna say it's still early, but there's still time to go out and pick up some talented guys who've been around the league, who can come in and help some of the younger guys, you know, get acclimated to the NFL and get them prepared for what's to come. Because again, our division is it's gonna be tough. You know, it's a high-powered division. Important. All the teams in the division. Yes.
Corners are so important in this division because you've got good quarterbacks and you've got teams that like to air the ball out throughout this division. And you're right about Derek Moore. He led Michigan with 10 sacks a year ago, which is, I mean, that's hard to do at the University of Michigan. So you've got a good one there. You're going to have two good edge rushers coming after the quarterback. Brandon, you've been just quiet listening. Where are you at with the Detroit Lions, my friend?
Listen, they're a very talented team. They're a very hard-nosed team. They did take a step back considering they were injured big time, but they kept clawing, kept fighting, had an opportunity. You know, their window's still there. They're one of the best offenses in the league, despite Ben Johnson going to Chicago. You know, Jared Goff going into his 11th year. It's just crazy to think that he's been in the league over a decade. He can still deliver when protected, and I think adding Pacheco and that downhill run game is going to help him as far as play action goes, because we all know when he's protected, he's one of the best. You know, 68% completion, 34 TDs to 8 interceptions. That's a very good touchdown to interception ratio. They're just in a division, man, that it's a dogfight every week, and I think they're going to be right in the thick of it. This offensive coordinator, we'll see what happens. We obviously know defense is always ahead of offense in the beginning, so you know, for them to establish an identity within the first quarter of the week or first quarter of the season is extremely paramount to their success.
Well said. For somebody who doesn't really pay attention to the
one
NFC
thing I want
North.
to speak on is
go ahead, Robert.
One thing that I want to say, you know, Dan was running the offense at one point last year.
Right.
Yeah, he took it over
the year.
Put up a lot of points, but Dan is a defensive guy, and that hurt him. but that hurt us because I think he took some time away from, focusing on defense to focus on offense. And that put us in a predicament because now the person who's usually, at the helm of our defensive schemes is over here running offense, which again, they did well, but then we were losing games because defensively we weren't making the plays that needed to be made. Yes, injuries does play a point, but I think it took a toll on us because he went from, we had Ben Johnson in offense and he didn't need to do anything because Ben Johnson, he had it all bottled up and wrapped up like a Christmas package, and he just had to go out there and present it. But then Dan taking over, like I said, offense scored points, but then the defense took a step back. And defensively, we can't take a step back. I think we had enough offensive guys to go out there and make some plays. We needed our defense to be on their game at all times.
My thoughts would be, especially into this season, how can I protect Gibbs rather than just give him the whole load? Like how can I keep him balanced? Because he's at his best when he's balanced, right? When he's not over 25 plus touches. I mean, you get this guy 15 plus touches a game, along just keeping his body healthy. And I think Pacheco is going to have to be that enforcer in the run game, something he's never had to do besides short yardage situations because of Mahomes. So you learn those two, man. I think that's going to be the biggest question with him is can he take the entire load?
I like the idea.
And that's the thing. I don't want him to.
I don't want him to.
I don't want
space like Christian McCaffrey. I want you to do your thing on the space. I don't need you in the trenches. For what?
I like the idea of having the two of them in the backfield together, if I'm being honest. But don't forget, Pacheco is really good out of the backfield.
Well, 22 personnel, 23. Heavy.
He's really good. So now you can play action to Gibbs and throw out to Pacheco out on the edge. There's a lot of different things the Lions can do if they want to be creative. If you want my number, Detroit, just send me a DM. I'll give you some ideas what to do. Right? Robert, you got to know somebody over there. Let's make it happen.
Hey, by the way, how can a Lions fan ask the Bears fan what to do on offense? We can't do that.
I mean, we're just here to help. We're more imaginative, obviously, right? We have the younger offense coordinator. We've got Ben Johnson who left the Lions, right? Left y'all.
I know.
Get y'all. I'm going to go down to Chicago and I'm going to make it shake, and that's what he's done. But we can't talk about the Bears yet. I want to, but we got to talk about the Vikings first. We got to talk about the Minnesota Vikings first because the Minnesota Vikings are next on the list. Brandon, I'm going to let you start, man, because you've got a lot of thoughts on the quarterback issue in Minnesota.
There's nothing to think about. There's absolutely nothing to think about. This is not a quarterback competition. This is Kyler getting a good coach that understands the system, can build it around him, quick, decisive decisions, keeping him healthy. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks still in the NFL. He's still young. He's under 30 years old. Yes, I know JJ's there, but JJ needs to sit back and learn. There's a reason why they brought Carson Wentz. For every touchdown, you have a pick, and you're completing under 60% of your passes. It's not a good thing. Plus, you're taking a lot of sacks. Now, we know Kyler took a lot of sacks too, but I just think Kyler's in a situation where it's sink or swim. And guys of that caliber of talent knows, hey, I got to step up. I think we're going to see a different Kyler Murray, but I'm not really focused on the first half of the season with him. I'm focused on right after Call of Duty. I know everybody gives him shit about that, but I'm just saying historically, his stats fall off dramatically after that thing is out. And I get it. We're all gamers, love to have fun, but he has to realize, man, you have a great receiving core. You have a tremendous coach that once was a quarterback, once was a stud, understands how you think from a dual threat perspective. Now he's putting weapons behind Kyler, right? Giving him more of an establishment. And we're forgetting about that stingy defense over there, right? With Brian Flores.
No.
I think the job's Kyler's. I think this is an opportunity for JJ to sit and watch and grow. Preseason's really going to be a big determination for him. As we know, he's only had one preseason game in his life, and he tore the MCL. I could be wrong on that, though. I know we got a lot of Vikings fans that are going to probably shred me, but I'm just saying you can't sit here with a straight face and say you're taking J.J. McCarthy over Kyler Murray at this point in time. knowing what
Yes.
Kirk Cousins brought to the table before his Achilles injury. That's all I'm saying, Tim. And you got Carson Wentz, who was very serviceable despite his rib injuries, still came in, completed passes. The offense moved pretty well, right? I think this is an opportunity for JJ to sit and learn. And when he gets this opportunity, take advantage of it, kid. And I'll leave it at that. But they got a good team, man. We'll see what happens.
Okay. So, but my thing is this is what it'll be his second time around to sit and watch and learn, because the injury bug has been just.
Well, the injury the first year is what took him out, and he didn't really learn a whole lot. I don't think.
Well, he spent the whole time in the film room. I mean,
it doesn't look like it, Tim.
I'd also like to point out, we talked about the Vikings last year. We talked about JJ a lot last year. That offensive line was decimated last year. There was at one point in time they had no starters playing on the offensive line. The running back had gotten hurt. The only starting receiver that he had out there was JJ. The defense obviously gave up 334 points a year ago. The defense had a little bit of a fall off. I'm not a Vikings fan, so I don't know why the defense fell off the way they did. But I think that the criticism of JJ is very loud, and that's fine. It can be loud. When JJ has an opportunity to come back and play somewhere, wherever that might be, because I think here in Minnesota it might be dead as much as he wants. And when he does come out and get into a system that is good for him and he plays well, then I expect the noise to be just as loud. Let me just say that. But we're bagging on this kid a lot. I do think that Kyler Murray's a better fit in this system, because if the O-line plays like they did a year ago, you need a mobile quarterback in JJ. While he is athletic, he's not mobile like Kyler Murray, right? So, and I'm a big Kyler fan, but Kyler has hurt himself more than anybody else has hurt Kyler, right? And so if Kyler's going to succeed in Minnesota, it's going to come down to him doing things the right way and being a pro, which has been his biggest issue in my eyes, is him being an actual pro, right?
Yeah, just got to grow.
I can agree with you.
Talent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why
I can agree with you on that one. But the thing is, how many Viking fans are kicking themselves right now because the guy that they had last year just won a Super Bowl?
Okay.
The guy hey, listen.
And you would have paid
that same guy also poo-pooed the bed for the Vikings a year earlier in the playoffs in a big game, right? And that's why they were able to, because they didn't feel like that narrative was following him. He can't win the big game. He can't get you over the hump. So I get what you're saying, Robert. Yeah, he left. He went, but that Seattle team was stacked.
But you put your you put.
Oh, this is really frustrating.
So with the Viking teams last year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, but they didn't get it done.
So with that same team 2 years ago.
So a 14-win team had
an
opportunity to repeat it, and they said, no, we're going to go with the guy who never took a snap in a regular season game. Oh, by the way, he's coming off of a meniscus tear, something that heals, but we just set him out the rest of the year. Explain that to me.
I don't know. Look, there's a lot of teams
in the NFL
do a lot of crazy things, right?
You don't do that.
I don't know what to tell you. You guys are the ones talking about Kevin O'Connell and how he is way up here. He's quarterback Jesus. Well,
none of us
doing nothing but fumbling the bag. So
none of us said that. But Kent, explain how a quarterback can make up for a poor offensive line. Can they? Yes.
Not when they're that young. I don't think JJ was ready for that.
Getting the ball, get the ball out. Like, you have to get the ball out. You have to protect yourself.
Get the ball out your hand.
Gosh.
Get the ball out your hand. I mean, Jordan Love can attest to that. You know, his line wasn't the best. My boy down there in Houston,
CJ.
He can attest to that. So yeah, CJ can attest to that. But my thing is you need to get the ball out of your hand. You had a whole year to sit back there and learn. You better find the quickest way to get the ball out your hand and get the ball to your playmakers. Period.
Man,
there's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. Damn, you play quarterback. You know.
I understand what you all are saying. Listen. I'm a fan, obviously, of JJ. I watched him at Michigan. I know there's something inside of him that can make him a great player. I saw it at the University of Michigan against Alabama, against Washington, against Ohio State. I saw these things. I don't feel like he needs to be in a situation more like a Jared Goff, where he can hand the ball off 30 times a game and play action 15 times a game, because that's what he's used to. Right?
He's not the type
if you
of
think he's going to sit there and throw the ball 30, 40 times a game and be successful, that's not J.J. McCarthy.
He's not the type of thrower Jared Goff is, bro.
I think he needs that play action. That's what I'm saying.
Jared Goff will stand in the middle of the fire and get smoked and throw a dot.
Again, I'm not saying that he is at the level of a Jared Goff. I'm saying
let's just say JJ's the worst quarterback in the division. Yes or no? Say it.
Yes. Yes.
Say it, Tim. Say it. You see that jersey back there is folding. They're going to fold him right up in the locker, and they're going to put it back in the equipment room, and they be like, hey, man, it was a pleasure doing business. Best of luck.
Yeah.
Well, this is
they're going to send him to San Francisco.
The Vikings went all in on their defense in the draft. They got a defensive lineman and Caleb Banks. They got Godley at linebacker out of Cincinnati. They got Orange, defensive lineman out of Iowa State. They got a tackle from Northwestern. They got a safety from Miami. They got a fullback from Michigan. Who drafts a fullback? I love that they're getting players from Michigan, but who drafts a fullback? That surprises me. Then they got a corner, a running back, and a center. So, and the center also came from Cincinnati. So they got two players out of Cincinnati. I'm not sure how good the Minnesota Vikings are going to be. You know, we're going to talk about this at the end. I think they're the worst team in the division, though. I think, regardless of who the starting quarterback is going to be. Let's move on. We kind of beat that to death. JJ McCarthy.
Shout out to the Lion fans in the chat. I know it's a handful of y'all. But y'all,
we strong,
fans.
baby.
Y'all are great fans.
We are all over the place.
We are all over the place.
One word, Gibbs. There you go. That's what the Lions feel. Gibbs is the guy. There we go.
He said one word, Gibbs. I agree.
Hey, but look, we didn't talk about St. Brown or Williams. We didn't talk about our two dynamic receivers out.
And those two can compete for the best receiving
St. Brown and Williams. So we have a the biggest concern is
the offense is there. Oh, you need to say it again,
yes.
Robert.
Our biggest concerns is, can we put it together? Say again.
No, you're good now.
You got it.
I said our biggest concern is, can we put it together? Can we put it together?
Right. Can you? Can you? To do it, you're going to have to beat this team, the Green Bay Packers.
I hope so.
That's a tough team to beat, right? The Green Bay Packers.
We all can't stand the Packers.
Listen, they didn't even have a pick in the first round this year, right? 2026 draft went without a first-round pick. They traded their pick for the Micah Parsons trade, which, by the way, Jerry Jones, I was mad about it last year, but looking back, Jerry Jones won the trade. He won the trade with the Micah Parsons.
The dude got hurt.
To Green Bay.
Yeah,
I don't care. We won the trade.
They won it.
The result is that the Green Bay Packers had the smallest draft class in 22 years. Jeez, that's a shame. Boo-hoo. They got a corner, a defensive tackle, an edge rusher, a center who also plays guard out of Kentucky, a corner from Alabama, and they drafted a kicker. Congratulations. You drafted a kicker. I don't have a lot to say good about the Packers because they're the Packers. Jordan Love is a good quarterback. 3,300 yards a year ago, 23 touchdowns to the 6 interceptions. He went through some injury woes, right? He's another guy that can be somewhat inconsistent. He can have a great game and look like the next coming of Aaron Rodgers, and then he can have a terrible game and look like Mikowski. If you guys remember, Mikowski used to play for the Packers back in the 80s. Brandon doesn't. Robert might. Anyway, yes, they called him Magic. Yeah, he had a couple of fourth quarter comebacks, Magic Mikowski.
I remember that on the Brett Favre when he came in and shook his hand, and then that was the last time I saw him.
That was it. Put that over.
That's the only thing I remember of him. No disrespect, Magic Mike.
This is the Green Bay Packer team that shipped out their backup quarterback, Malik Willis. You can't get over it. You can't.
I can't, bro. Because I remember seeing that as a kid.
They were 8-9 a year ago, beaten by the Chicago Bears towards the end of the season. Brandon, you were at my house for that game. We kind of all stopped what we were doing to watch the fourth quarter of that game. It was awesome. I see the Packers as falling on their face this year. I see them as they didn't get any better. To me, they haven't done anything to improve. And so the Packers, to me, are just poo-poo Packers. Robert, give me some Packer insight.
I mean, you still got Jordan Love. I mean, you still got a quarterback who can go out there and make plays. And I'm sure that he didn't like the way the season ended last year, going 8-9 and losing to the Bears. You know, it was a bad news Bears until last year. So everybody in the North, in the NFC North, is going to come out with a chip on their shoulders, especially with the way the Bears play ball. So Detroit Lions going to have a chip on their shoulder. The Packers going to have a chip on their shoulder. The Bears are going to have to run it back, because if they don't run it back, they're going to say it was a fluke. It was a smoke screen. And the Vikings, we'll see what they do. They still got dynamic players over there. They still got an offense that can go out there and put points up. So it's arranged to be seen how the year is going to turn out. The preseason, you know, hopefully that'll give us a glimpse of what everything looks like once all the starters decide to start playing. But, man, it's football. Anybody, any day. And the Packers may turn around and go, 13-3 on us, and we'll never know.
Don't say that. Don't even put that into the atmosphere. What is going on around here? I don't like the positivity for the Green Bay Packers, Robert. I don't like it. I dislike it.
There are no Packer fans on here, so there are no Packer fans on here, so I'm just giving them a little love.
Somebody's got to represent. I understand. Brandon, your guy, Malik Willis, was number 2 quarterback, stepped in a couple games last year. He's been shipped off by Green Bay so he can go be a starter down in Miami with absolutely no help around him. That should be fun. How do you feel about Jordan Love?
I like him. I just think, yes, his inconsistencies, they're there sometimes, but man, when he's on, he's on. When he's on, he's on. And I just think that's just the growth process of this position. I mean, the guy's still young. But I'm going to say what everybody is afraid to say. I know these are you guys have your lineage to your teams, but this is the cream of the crop of this division. It always has been since I was a kid. Green Bay has always found a way during the Brett Favre era, the Rodgers era, the Jordan Love era, right? They're still getting in the playoffs despite having some injuries, despite making big splash trades, and it doesn't work out in their favor. And what happens? They're still there. So we have to anticipate them still being there despite whatever happens this season. Just like Kent was attesting, these guys could go 500. These guys could turn around and go 13-3. And you just look up and you're like, shit, they're right there, right? I still think they're the favorites. Why? Because that organization has just been who they are for years. We haven't really seen a fall off. Yes, LaFleur, he hasn't, overcome, going to the NFC Championship. Yes, we know he's lost, but that is the one team I know without a shadow of a doubt they're going to be in this mix.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
It's every year. It don't matter. Wild card, divisional, up for the North, doesn't matter. They're one of the teams that is always in it.
It's true.
Since I just like it. 20 years, let's call it what it is. The Lions, yes, they caught fire in a bottle. They're still rolling, right? Bears are starting to really churn and come around and become that team of identity, something they didn't have in a long time. But the Packers have always remained the Packers.
Well, and looking at this lineup, they're going to look very familiar to a year ago, right? They still got Josh Jacobs. They still have Christian Watson. They still have Romeo Doubs. Let's see, who else?
And that team on a run before Jordan Love got hurt. Weren't they one of the hottest teams? Wasn't Michael Parsons really making some noise? Then What happened? Oh, they ran into a little bump in the third quarter of the season. Fourth quarter, they snuck in there. That's what they do. They're always going to be around. You can never count them out.
Defense still
That's why I count them out.
Respect to what they do. It's just, I don't think I've seen a team like this since shit. Who can you say besides we've seen Patriot have fall off years, but it's kind of like the Steelers. They just happen to just hang around. Mm-hmm. They're just always in there. We know at some point, we got to go play the Packers.
I will say, not having a first-round pick and having a small draft class doesn't necessarily hurt them this year, but it certainly will hurt them in the years to come.
Will it?
From now, it will.
Will it?
Because
have we ever seen it?
Well, it's the smallest draft class they've had in 22
We've never
years,
seen it.
You don't think it's going to hurt them eventually?
We've never seen it.
Free agency. Yeah, free agency is still there. They're not going to stop. I mean, you can always go find you some players.
Outside of Reggie White,
right now,
players love playing for that city.
Oh, but do they? Look back historically, outside of Reggie White, name me some big free agents that have signed with Green Bay in the offseason. The smallest market in the NFL.
Charles Woodson.
Okay, Woodson.
To the Super Bowl.
But it's still one of the smallest markets in the NFL.
Sure.
Not owned by anyone, owned by the city.
Sure.
One of the smallest stadiums in the NFL and one of the coldest venues in all of the NFL. This is why your free agent wide receivers and running backs and safeties and corners outside of Woodson, he's from Michigan, obviously, right? But they don't clamor to go to Green Bay, is all I'm saying.
This just attests to what I've just now said. You know,
they find a way.
Good. They find a way, bro. They're always there. You can never count them out. I've never seen a season where damn, Green Bay's shitty.
Right.
I haven't.
I mean, Detroit's the same way. I don't know too many people that's just packing their bag and say, man, I can't wait to be a Lions to go to the Detroit Lions.
But
there are not a lot of players like that or coaches.
And that just goes to credit to that organization and that culture, man. Those fans love their Packer players, bro.
Yes.
Love them. In the training camps, riding the bikes, they pick one of the kids. What team is just doing that? Year in and year out. You saw it all the way from the Brett Favre era to the Aaron Rodgers, now to the Jordan Love. Bro, their retention is phenomenal.
And the thing is, it's almost like a family because it is owned by the fans. And you got players that look for that type of atmosphere. There are some players that don't want that big limelight, Dallas Cowboy, 49ers, Raiders, just knowing that they're going to have attention on them all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, you want to just go and be a football player. And that atmosphere of just that family oriented, you may be eating dinner with some of the fans and you're a big time. But that right there, it doesn't mean nothing to them because they just want to go play football. So they find those players that just want to go play football and they find a way to win. So, like he said,
they're in it every year. We all know in January you're going to have to go to Lambeau Field.
Oh, nobody wants to go.
Playoffs in Lambeau.
Nobody wants to go.
Every year except last year, almost.
That's right. They had to come to Chicago.
Yeah, but it was kind of the same style of atmosphere, cold weather. It's just, in January, if you're in the NFC, you're going to play Green Bay.
Yes.
All right. Well, if we don't
stop, hold up. Last year this time, we talking about having to go to Chicago. None of the conversation we had anything to do with going to Chicago. We were just hoping Chicago had a winning season. Then just
just pray they cleared 500.
Yes. After the year that they just had,
oh boy,
I'm sure the Chicago fans are feeling like, oh, let's run it back. But usually that sophomore year is usually when things start to tank. Sometimes it's hard to come back and be as impressive as you were that previous year. So are the Chicago Bears going to be real or are they going to be fake? What do we have for 2026?
What we got, Tim?
Well, I'm going to go last. I got to go last because I am so good at sales that by the time I get done, you all will believe what I'm saying. So I need your honest to God truth of what you feel about Chicago. By the way, when you talk about the Bears, don't forget to mention that they are the division champs. They are the kings of the North right now. right? Caleb Williams is the Madden cover, the Iceman. 3,900 yards a year ago, 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Some of those were tip balls. 90 passer rating.
Oh, you just skipped over his completion percentage. Go ahead and say that one.
58.1 completion. Listen, there's one thing I say about Caleb. He's got to make the easy plays look a little easier, right? But 11-6, 441, 415. Defense got to get better. 6,200 yards. I love what I'm seeing out of the Bears. I'm going to circle back, though, and let Robert talk about the Bears because as a Lions fan, he does not want to have to go to Chicago in January. I know that.
You know what? We don't mind playing in the cold weather. It's okay.
They got my face.
Yeah. We don't mind playing in the cold weather. But my biggest thing is can they repeat what they did last year? I'm a big fan of Ben Johnson, so I cannot say anything about that Bears offense. I wish he would come on back home to Detroit, but hey, he's the head coach now. He has turned that team around. I mean, hey, you went from, like I say, 0 to 100 real quick when Ben Johnson stepped into the Bears stadium, and to do it again, that second year, people, you got a target on your back right now, Chicago Bears. The Packers have a target to come get you, Bears. The Lions have a target, and the Vikings. So my biggest thing is, can you repeat what you did last year with Caleb making some great plays? And those great plays don't always come around because you got to make those basic plays, like you said. Sometimes he doesn't take the easy throw. He doesn't take the 10-yard out or the 5-yard out and let the guy go make a play. He wants that fanfare, spectacular play, yes. But then when teams start to do different things to you, send different blitzes, sending different schemes at you that they didn't send last year because they didn't know what kind of quarterback you were. But now they've watched a lot more film on you. They know what you like to do. They know who you like to go to. It's going to be a different ball game this year when it comes to Caleb Williams and the way that he has to go out and approach the game, walking into game one in the NFL season.
All right.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think we understand Caleb's a phenomenal talent. He does things that are very abnormal, go against the grain from a traditional style quarterback. Could it penalize you? Oh yeah, it can penalize you, right? He's made some very questionable throws that has gone his way, but I hope he really understands just the type of coordinator Ben Johnson is and turning around Jared Goff's career, getting rid of the ball, understanding how to make, the simple throws look easy, right? I think we all know he has the talent. Now with Rome Odunze, Larry Burden coming in their third season as well, this is going to help spark that chemistry. I think they were phenomenal, man, last year. I think they won a lot of close games, but I told you, man, it wasn't sustainable. They were winning games by really, I'd say the football gods were blessing them with those things. And some things, those times, they fall your way, and other times they don't. But I do feel with the pressure of Caleb being on the Madden cover and all the attention now is on Chicago. You're not the hunter. You're now being hunted. Yes. And so you're going to get the best out of every single NFL team. They're going to want to hit him every which way, right? They're going to try to do their best to rattle him. Can the kid thrive? Can he make it look simple? Get him, some easy reads. I think the defense did pretty well despite, you guys going 3 and out for a long time, right? Completing under 60% of your passes, that is killing a defense, right? You're always on the field constantly. So he's got to find a way to sustain drives. But I know because you're a Chicago fan and Mark is too, I do think you guys take a step back this year, though, honestly. I do think it's a little bit of a reset, but you find a way to climb back. You're going to scratch, but I don't think it's going to be the magical season that you saw last year. I think they're going to have to find a way to sustain it and understand how to finish games without having to play hero ball.
Okay. All right. So I took it all in. Seems like you were both pretty fair, right? There's nothing I can point to and be like, that was ridiculous. Although I don't see the Bears going backwards. I see a young coach. I see an offense that's going to stay familiar. to a quarterback who's trying to grow into his role as the franchise player there in Chicago. DJ Moore, unfortunately, he's off to Buffalo, right? Caleb allowed DJ Moore to go play for Josh Allen. I hope Josh sends Caleb a thank you note at some point during the year. But Rome Odunze has to step up. And we saw flashes of him being a number one talent a year ago. And we also saw drops on big third downs. We saw balls go off his hands, get intercepted. We saw him missing assignments. He's a younger player. He's got to grow into that number one spot, though, because it's him and Burden now. Him and Burden are number one and number two. Swift has to have a big role in this offense for them to be successful, right? Both running the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield, right? He's a good player. I really like Monungai, right? We got a thing in Chicago when he gets a first down, we like to sing like the Lion King. Kyle Monungai for the Bears, first down. Yeah, we love that. So he's a good third down running back. But we got to get more out of that running game. We didn't get as much out of the running game as I would have liked to see a year ago. So we need more of that. Caleb does need to hit the slants a little easier, right? He doesn't need to see the slant and then back up and do a Romo spin and get out of there and then throw a 40-yard post down the middle of the field. No, he needs to just throw the slant. That'd be great. But I love what he's doing. He can make those Patrick Mahomes type of plays. Now I need you to make some Peyton Manning type plays. I need you to get up to the line, decipher the defense, and go, okay, we're going right here, right now, because I watched film. I know what y'all are trying to do, and we're going to not allow you to do what you want to do. That's what Mahomes does so well, right? He's matured into that role. Caleb is going to do the same thing. I see Caleb as a Mahomes 2.0. I see physically he can do all the same things. Can he grow into it mentally? That's what I need. I will say this, 2 years ago, and even last year, I said Caleb Williams did not have the makeup of a franchise quarterback. And I have to backtrack that. Forget talent, all that. It was the makeup, right? The mentality. He has that. I think Ben Johnson has brought that out in him. So I love the relationship that the two of them have. Sometimes you get a coach that is responsible for a player's growth and development. And I see this being one of those times. Ben Johnson, if not for him, I don't know that we ever see the Caleb Williams that we're seeing now. So I love that Ben Johnson went in there, put his arms around him, and said, "Come with me. We're gonna turn you into the franchise guy." And he's embraced every second of it. You listen to his interviews. His interviews are different, more mature. He's more grown up. He talks about we. He talks about the team. I love where Caleb is going. I don't see the Bears having a setback. I see the defense is going to be shored up a little bit. There's still an opportunity to get a Max Crosby, maybe. I don't know. But I look for this offense to only get better, y'all. And I think that the other teams in the North should be shaking in their boots because this team is going to be exciting. This team is going to be – this is the best quarterback the Chicago Bears have ever had in their franchise. This team is about to be exciting. Period.
I told you he was going to get a Caleb Williams jersey when you drafted him. You were like, no, I'm not. Well, look at you. Look at you.
I don't have one yet, but I need to order one.
Look, man, if I got one thing to say for Caleb, bore me with completions. Put my ass to sleep when I watch a game. And then when I wake up in the fourth quarter, man, you're 32 or 36, 333, 4 touchdowns. I'm like, damn, you're carving them up.
All right.
Well, bore me with completions, kiddo.
I wouldn't mind if we saw that. I do want to bring up one thing, Brandon. I'm so thankful you didn't bring it up because Mark might have jumped right through the screen and ended up in your office there. The Chicago Bears are indeed moving to Indiana. It's now there's a lot to do. It's not like they're moving to Indianapolis or the middle of the state. They're 30 minutes outside of the city of Chicago. I blame the city of Chicago for this. They should have taken care of the Bears. The Bears are a founding member of the NFL. Like, this is dumb that the Chicago Bears are going to move. The city wouldn't take care of them. McCaskey's rolling in his grave. I know he is. But, yeah, the Bears are going to move into a dome stadium that's going to be owned by the public, from what I understand. Construction will start as soon as this summer. When are they going to move? We don't know yet. They have to wait for the land to be purchased and all those agreements to be done. And then, of course, for the stadium to be built, probably 28. So we've only got a couple of years left at Soldier Field. I know I'm going every year, at least once a year from now on, as long as they're there. But I'm saddened about this. Honestly, Robert, you're in this division, right? So you historically, I know you're kind of like me with football. You're kind of historic. Doesn't it, as a Lions fan, isn't it like, what do you mean you're not in Chicago anymore? Isn't that It's just blasphemy almost.
Every Bear fan or every person who's played for the Bears for the past however many years they've been in existence, they're turning over in their graves. They're ready to burn jerseys. You don't keep the Chicago Bear jersey because you do keep it now because it's going to be different when you go to Indiana. It doesn't even sound right. What's the name?
Right. The Indiana Bears.
They're still going to be the Chicago Bears, so calm down.
Indiana Bears.
I mean, we don't call the
We're not
Dallas
going to do that,
Cowboys.
Brandon. We're not going to do that,
Here
Brandon.
he is. Here he
We're not going
comes.
to do that. I'm not coming in. I'm just the voice.
Oh,
Can't have
is
it.
God, is God speaking to you?
It's just not right. It's not right. I'm trying to stay behind the scenes and produce the show.
Is that James Earl
What
Jones?
is happening?
Darth Vader's here. Yeah, look, it's really bad. It's really bad. But we've seen this, right? With stadiums getting bought and moved and everything. The 49ers had to move out to Santa Clara.
Trash.
There's a lot of teams that aren't. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are in Arlington, Texas. They are 30 minutes away from Dallas, Texas, right? Nowhere near Dallas, Texas. So I kind of understand what's happening, but I don't like it. I think Chicago really screwed the pooch here, and there's nothing like going to the game on the lakefront, right? There's nothing like going down to Kitty O'Shea's, Irish Bar, right there. And 5 minutes away from you walk across Grant Park, the big pretty park, and the bridges and the trees, the Chicago cops on their horses, and that's how you go to a Bears game. Now you got to go to Indiana.
Never been. Now you made me want to go before they close up shop.
Weed is legal in Chicago. I don't think it's legal in Indiana. They better fix that quickly because the Bear fans, we like to partake, especially when the Bears aren't playing so well. I mean, we need something.
This season.
Halftime. You better be selling some gummies in the stadium. What are we talking about?
It's good old Indiana Bears.
Right
I just think I don't like it. I think it really just messes up the history. I mean, this is one of the, one of the founders of the NFL, one of the founding teams. You don't do that.
Nah.
Especially right now. This is as popular as the Bears have been since like the Urlacher era. I would say, yeah.
So they've got, I'm going to say 2, maybe 3 years to win it before they're in Hammond. So let's win it. Let's win it and have the parade in downtown Chicago.
Oh, so if you do win it one year during Caleb's reign, do you have it in Indiana? Do you have the parade in Indiana?
No, you never have the parade in Indiana.
I mean, isn't it where they play though?
Heck no, you can't.
I tried.
Look, here he is.
I tried. I said I'm going to stay behind the scenes the entire show. Not going to come out. Not going to talk anything. I'm going to stay behind the scenes. But Brandon Newey, come on, man.
Come
on. They are the Chicago Bears.
So are they going to have like 2 like?
They are the Chicago Bears. Their offices will be in Chicago. They're not leaving Hallis Hall. They're still the Chicago Bears. And by the way, they're the oldest team. September 17, 1920. 126 years.
How do you move them away from Chicago? Like that just
blame Chicago.
Oh,
you blame the city of Chicago.
Here's why you can't have the parade in Hammond. Hammond and Gary are not safe areas.
Yeah, okay? No one wants to have a parade in Hammond anywhere near Gary, Indiana.
No.
You ever been anywhere near Gary, Indiana?
Okay.
The home of MJ.
You do not want to go anywhere near Gary, Indiana, party or not.
No, you're going in for the game and you're getting out as quick as you possibly can.
I just think it's a disrespect to the history.
It can't.
You just don't do that. That's like
business.
Oakland, the Raiders. I didn't understand that.
It's a business decision. If the Bears are a business, just like the Cowboys, just like the Niners, just like the Lions, and if the opportunity for taxes and recouping whatever they pay for the team and expenses, it's a business. They're not going to spend money and have one of the smallest stadiums in the NFL. That's a logistical nightmare to go to unless you're like me and Tim, where you go to Kenny O'Shea's and then you walk across the Grant Park. You can walk Bear,
Hey, I need to go to a Bears game with y'all one day.
But getting to that stadium off of Lakeshore Drive is a nightmare.
It is not
it's
fun.
A nightmare.
And they've closed down all the areas to park there, so
you can't park.
Really
you can't.
your car down.
Any place you park, you have to. It's almost like parking and taking the train or an Uber to get to the stadium because you cannot park around the stadium. It's not accessible.
That's
Lakeshore Drive.
We go to the Hilton, which is just a couple blocks away from the stadium. It has QB O'Shea's, which is an Irish bar run by people that came over from Ireland centuries ago, whenever they were here, whatever. They've been there forever. And so we'll go there. You get a good lunch, right? Back when I was drinking, even if I'm not drinking, I might have a Guinness, especially on a cold day. And then you take your, what is it, about a 10-minute walk?
10 minutes over. Cross the Grand Park, over the bridge, you're like in the Soldier Field.
And you come back to Kitty O'Shea's for dinner. It's awesome. Now we're not going to do that because I'm not going to Gary. I'm not hanging out in Hammond. Not doing it. Nope. All right. Well,
I don't have an opinion on you because you three guys are the show. But if I did have an opinion with regarding the Bears falling back or going back or this isn't going to be their seasons. Yeah, you can quash that noise. This ain't last year. The Bears aren't thinking about last year. The fans are thinking about last year. The media will say, no, the pressure's on, and like Nui said, they're no longer, they're no longer hunting. They're the hunted. Ben Johnson already has that attitude. Like everybody, you can't live in last year. We could talk about it nostalgia, wax nostalgia. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we beat the Packers because absolutely Packers. So it's not. Like we don't think that this is going to be a harder year, a more difficult year. You forget we have one of the best offensive lines in the game, all right? And just because Caleb did what he did, and the team did come back from 7 wins while being behind, just because it's not showing off if you can do it. Yeah, we put ourselves in a situation to do that, but having the ability to do that, and in the first year in your coach's offense, this is Caleb's 3rd year coming up. Okay. All right. So you've gone through 2 offenses, 3 in 4 years. Okay. And the Bears won the division last year. So the impetus isn't that they could regress because last year was a magical season. All right. The Packers played, Lions played, everybody played against the Bears. People lost, you lost. Sometimes injuries kick in. All of those things happen. But to say the Bears are going to regress, I like even objectively, not being the biggest, the big Bear fan that I am, the numbers don't make sense to that. The numbers don't make sense to that.
Run into, and those are all valid points, Mark. But I think what you run into is the reason why I say, as far as might take a step back. I mean, their first 4 games are against 2 playoff teams and 2, non-playoff teams. They could be 500.
Oh, you're right. You know what? I can see that.
And to me, that's like, okay, hold on. What's going on here? Do we hit the panic button? Do we have an identity here? Like, did what we do, is it working? Do we change things? I mean, that's a dramatic change because now, once you come out of that 4th game, guess where you go? You go to Green Bay.
But isn't one of those playoff teams? One of those playoff teams is the Panthers.
A Panthers team that upset the Rams, but they still made the playoffs. The Panthers team that won, it was a crappy division, but I think you're going in there the first game with a resurgence of Bryce Young. I mean, shit.
But
don't bat an eye because the
Panthers are right.
The argument, the Bears are also a playoff team.
They're there to steal the. I mean, they were still breaking hearts.
The Bears are also a playoff team.
Well, I understand that, but it's like we know what the Bears are. We know how talented they are. We know where they've been. And now it's like the spotlight is on them, which it hasn't been in 20 years. And you go into these things. You go into Carolina, a hostile environment, and then you go and play probably a pissed off Kyler Murray. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not saying you guys should win that. But then Philly walks in.
It's not an easy lead schedule,
right? So you
don't ease into the season.
4 games, I'm thinking hopefully you stay at 500, or you can squeeze out 3 or 2 of those, or maybe you run it. but it's the unknown right now. That's what I think about this team. Is this team exciting? Yes. Are they one of the most talented teams, if not the most talented team in their division? That's probably true. Do they have the most exciting quarterback in their division? Yeah, they do.
I believe the Bears lost what they lost on offense with DJ Moore. They gained another year of experience with Komet.
I think Burton's going to be better for him.
Not only Burton, not only Burton. He's faster, obviously, younger.
He's just a great playmaker.
He's a playmaker with the ball in his hands. Yet there's a lot to be said that, like, of the teams that did take steps forward and took it in the league, like even though the Bears didn't get that defensive end that they really, really need, offensively, they lost something with DJ Moore, but they didn't fall back. It's time for the rookies to step up. They're not rookies this year, right? And they were already, and they had great years last year. The offensive line, we lost our center, but we gained what's his name? Logan Jones. Logan Jones will probably be starting this center, man. He's a Remington
tough stretch in the second quarter of the season.
A Remington winner last year, so the run game made the passing game.
Right.
They're not going to regress on the run game. Teams know what Caleb can do. Teams know how, like now with Ben Johnson's offense. But I don't see them taking a step backwards offensively. Like I see them taking a step forward.
I see the Bears coming into their own, but it starts with Caleb Williams.
Absolutely.
Caleb has to be, they're going to treat Caleb like they did Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
When they said Lamar couldn't throw the ball, the one thing that every team did was made sure he stayed in the pocket.
Was made him, right. We're going to force you to your weakness.
So now they're going to make Caleb stay in the pocket. So Caleb has to go 1, 2, 3. Get the ball out your hand. Find that guy. First read, second read, third read. Get the ball out your hand. We know you can run around, Caleb. We know you can get the ball down the field. We know you can do some magical things with the ball in your hand without the ball. Teams are looking for you. But can you sit back there and you get, like you said, you got one of the best lines in the league.
Right.
Can you sit back there?
I'll say it right now, Kent, man. If Caleb
froze on us again.
If Caleb can figure out how to throw the ball in rhythm consistently with his talent, watch out.
Yeah.
This is going to be very hard. You can't blitz him. You're going to have to just play catch coverage or match. You're going to have to do basically just like, hey, man, I hope you screw up. And right now, we all know he doesn't turn the ball over very much.
Right.
He's had some hiccups, right? He's a gunslinger.
Yes.
But he can just sustain drives.
It's those early
drives. They were one of the bottom teams, I believe, in third down percentage.
Bottom third.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a Bears hater is going to come and tell me I'm absolutely wrong.
You're not.
But
you're not.
And we have to bring those people out. Like, please bring them. I would love. But I'm just saying, man, he is one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL. But if he can really just harness that in what Ben is trying to do, damn, it's going to be hard to stop them. It really is.
Oh, I have to come in. I got to go back behind the curtain and give you guys back the show.
See you later, Wizard.
Predictions. Appreciate you.
Bear down.
All right, Robert, you're our guest. We'll let you go first, my friend. We got it. There we go. What's going to happen in the division? And do you have any hot takes, particularly about your Detroit Lions?
Hot take about the Lions, man. Offense is back. We moved Panay to tackle, one of the best tackles. Then we picked up Moore. I think it was kid named Moore from
Michigan.
No, the kid Miller, first round guy.
Okay.
We picked up Miller. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah. No. Yes. No.
Yeah, so we picked up Miller to show up that offensive line. I mean, we got a great group offensively. I mean, we picked up some guys defensively, like I said, the linebacker from Michigan, a couple D linemen. I still think we did pick up Abney from Arizona State at cornerback, so I still think we need a couple more cornerbacks just because of the division that we're in. And we just got to make sure that offensive coordinator comes in and moves the ball around. You know, we can't become one-dimensional and just get a ball to Gibbs, like you said the whole time. because Gibbs gonna get wore down. It's a 16-game season, preseason. Man, those hits, they take a toll. And nobody wants to get beat up. And then that's when we run into that injury bug again that hurt us last year. So hopefully this year, offensively, we can, pound the ball a little bit, get the ball out of hands, because we got dynamic receivers on the outside. We got a great tight end in Porter. We just hopefully that the offense coordinator can put it together and hopefully get us the points that we need, because I think Dan going back to the defensive side, that's going to help us out on the defensive side of the ball.
How do you think this?
I just think that our division. Go ahead.
How do you think the division will shake out?
Man, I think we're all going to be kind of playing the 500 game, and I'm just saying that because we're all talented. The only thing I can say, and I can't say the Lions. I mean, the Vikings are not talented because they're talented too, offensively and defensively. Everybody falls off with Flores on the defensive side. With the Vikings, they're going to be better this year. We see what the Bears have. The Bears won a division last year. They're going to get a little bit better. Again, like we said with Caleb Williams, he sits in the pocket. He's going to change the game. Like previously, Brandon said, the Packers are going to always be the Packers. They're going to always be there. They're going to always, show up when it's time to show up. And the Lions, we just got to go and make the plays when we're given the opportunity. Fourth down is always going to be our down. We're always going to take that chance on fourth down. It's going to win us some games. It's going to lose us some games. I just think it's going to be a 500 division. I think our chances of beating other teams helps our rank, helps our win-loss ratio. But when it comes to the division, it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a very tight division.
It's fair. That's fair. It's good coming from a Lions fan. I like that.
Hey, you know what? I don't like to brag on us because you still got to play ball, man. Okay, what's going on?
Got to play the game.
Yeah, still got to play the game.
Brandon, where you at, man?
As far as choosing who's going to win the division?
Oh my gosh! Oh, my cat is in the middle of the show.
It's going to be a beat up division, man. I mean, you guys are just going to beat up on each other. But I do see the consistency of this organization managing to win the North, the Packers. I think they're going to do it. And I think Detroit's going to fall second. I think Detroit's going to fall second. I think Chicago may take a step back. There may be 3 teams in the playoffs. It might. I'm not saying they're bad teams. We've seen it happen before, right? We saw it last year in the NFC West with the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Rams all making the playoffs. I'm not saying you're not going to make the playoffs. I just think this division is just – you guys are just going to beat each other up, man. And if you can squeeze out 1-1 on each team and manage to take care of some of the other outside noise on your schedule, shit, you should be in the dance. So I think the Packers are going to squeeze this out at 1. Detroit gets back on track at 2. Slightly falling, the Bears. And I still think it's going to be a problem with the Vikings. I'm just not positive in that second half of the season after Call of Duty's release. I got to see it to believe it. Because right now, my eyes are telling me a different thing.
See, I'd like to think that the season just gets harder in November, December. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's not Call of Duty. I'm just maybe.
I don't know, man.
You said a slight fallback. You had the Chicago Bears, who, by the way, I want to reiterate, are the 2025 NFC North champions.
I get
you
it.
Said they're going to have
all 3 of those teams
and be in third place.
We're all in the same cycle until like week 10.
Okay.
All 3 of them.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay. I'm glad that you feel.
Y'all just gonna keep trading off, man. Somebody else next.
I'm glad that you feel that way. Listen, I still feel like you're gonna have the NFC West is still gonna have 2 or 3 teams in the playoffs. I just feel like they're all really good. It's hard to get away from that. The NFC North probably have 2 teams. The first team's going to be the Chicago Bears because Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are a match made in heaven, much like a Andy Reid and a Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana and Bill Walsh, Don Shula and Dan Marino. Like these names are synonymous with relationship, coach and quarterback. I think we've got the same thing in Chicago. So I expect them to win the division. I expect the Detroit Lions to have a resurgence and by 1 game towards the end of the year, jump into second place and also be in the playoffs. I expect Green Bay to fall I really do. They're due to have an off year. They didn't do a lot in the offseason to get better. I expect them to fall down a little bit to third place. And I do see the Lions coming in, or the Vikings coming in fourth. Them and the Packers might fight it out a little bit. I think that we're going to see both quarterbacks throughout the year. I think Kyler will start. Probably won't stay healthy, especially if the offensive line doesn't really step up. And then you're going to see JJ at some point come in, or maybe Carson Wentz. Maybe the preseason, JJ gets a lot of playing time, and that's because they're trying to move off of him. Maybe they're going to try to move him before the season starts to a QB-needy team. Maybe the Cleveland Browns want another quarterback. I don't know. They seem to want all the quarterbacks. But J.J. McCarthy, I expect, will be on the move. If what you say is right, Brandon, and Carson Wentz is going to be the number 2, I expect J.J. McCarthy to be on the move somewhere else this year. And I hope that that's the opportunity for him. Although I got that icy white jersey behind me that's super pretty.
Oh, look at you. You gave up on your boy. Just
I want him to go somewhere where he can play.
Just like that.
The Vikings gave up. The Vikings gave up on him. I didn't. I want him to go someplace he can play.
Where?
Someplace he can. New York Jets.
Where?
New York Jets. Go play right now. New York Jets. Go ahead. You want Geno Smith who threw 4,000 interceptions a year ago?
Hey, Geno going through it right now if you ain't seen the release of the video. So stay safe, Geno.
Stay safe, Geno.
She crazy.
Wait. What are you talking about? What video?
I sent that to you, that video about Geno Smith, like that girl, you know.
Oh,
I'm not going to get all into it because allegedly, but
it's allegedly.
Geno, stay safe, my dog.
Please.
God,
we rooting for you, Geno. We are rooting for you, bro.
Woo! He was going through it in Las Vegas. Lord.
No wonder he threw 19,000 interceptions.
Lord, have mercy.
Well,
off the field effects on the field. Off the field effects on the field.
It could, does it?
Got to protect you.
Lock it out for 3 minutes. Like get Candy the stripper out of your brain for 3 hours and go play some football. No, you can't do it.
It happened to Deshaun.
Because Deshaun was getting pregame. Deshaun was getting pregame massages that turned into something else, and then he was in the huddle going, "Man, that massage was awesome! Whoa! 22 dive on one. Let's ready break. Come on." I don't know when Deshaun was getting his massages, but it was a lot, and he still hasn't recovered. Whatever those massage people did to him, he is still not recovered.
But boy, he's still getting paid. He is still getting paid.
Hey, Robert, if I was you, I might submit to the Cleveland Browns my application because they're signing all quarterbacks. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Give it a shot. You look good in a Browns uniform. I can see it.
It's still live.
I wish. I can't do anything with this arm. Nothing. Anyway, any final thoughts from our guest, Mr. Robert Kent? Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us today. Hadn't seen you for a while, so it's been fun. School kind of keeps you busy. Anything you want to tell us about from a business standpoint? I know you got a lot of stuff working here in the DFW marketplace.
Yeah, man. When I'm not in school, I have a mental and behavioral health business. You know, mental health has been really big, not just in sports, but just in lives in general, especially with guys. It's called Overstanding Wellness. It's a case management business where my case managers, we go out to houses. We do virtual in-person therapy, but you know, we have psychologists on board, LPCs, doctors, nurse practitioners. If you need somebody to talk to, you know, this is kind of where I as a teacher, you know, a lot of kids in the school, man, we only have a couple of counselors that have to, you know, oversee 1,300 kids. And that's hard. So we get a lot of kids that get lost in the sauce that don't get the help that they need. And being a teacher myself and being a coach, being a father, being a dad, being an uncle, to a lot of the kids that just need somebody to just sit down and talk to, I figure, you know what, this is one way that I can help out. We are a Medicare funded program. So if they have insurance, it's taking care.
Oh no. That was some great information.
Insurance one didn't. So hey, took care of the 5, and the one that didn't have insurance, we also saw that kid also. Because it's not about trying to make money, it's about helping. I mean, the NFL, these kids that are taking their lives at young ages because they're going through mental hardships. You got to go out there and perform. You got your girl that's on the side that's looking for you to take care of her, take care of their families. Then you got to go and be a student of the game, your craft. And if you're not being the best at your craft, guess what? NFL stands for not for long. And I tell kids that all the time. You're either the 1 or 3% that get an opportunity to go. And once you get there, you got to stick around. And it takes a big toll on you, man. And it takes a big mental toll on you, not only physically, but mentally. And like I said, this is just one way that I've been having an opportunity to give back to a lot of kids, a lot of adults, because we don't just see the kids, we see the adults also, because we got a lot of kids whose parents don't know what's wrong with the kid because they thinking that they're 100% great. And I'm like, no, it's something wrong with you. You need to talk to somebody. The apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Sure. It's just that you're giving the kid a phone or a tablet, and you're expecting that phone or tablet to raise the kid when you're not there because you're dealing with you being a parent or you being your own person, and it's leaving a kid lost, man. So we trying to get people to understand, get parents to understand that, hey, let your kid talk to somebody to get some things off your chest. You talk to somebody to get some things off your chest, and y'all may be coming a lot closer together because you two are dealing with the same problem and you don't even know it. Wow. So that's one of the things we're doing, man. I'm still out here working real estate with my wife, Kent Legacy team, but we've really put a lot of emphasis on this mental health because there's a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of things, and it's okay to talk because as men, as you know it, we're taught not to be vulnerable. We're taught not to tell or not to talk about anything because you talk about something, guess what? Oh, now I'm gonna use it against you. But so you want me to just keep it built up and built up and built up. And when I go out and do something that's unexpected, oh, what's wrong with him? Oh, what happened to him? Well, you know what? He's dealing with a lot. But you don't expect him to go and just have a conversation with somebody. That's why that golfing time that you're doing, Brandon, man, that the organization you put together, that's great because that's time to get guys together to just converse. It ain't necessarily about golf, man. It's about life. Man, I'm dealing with my wife doing this. Man, I'm dealing with the same thing you dealing with. And that right there allows you to be vulnerable with guys around you doing something that you enjoy doing, but also giving you're releasing some of that off of your back. Because guess what? As soon as you go back to the house or go back to the workplace, you picking up more baggage that you're going to have to carry that people, I don't want to hear it. You just got to go. Right. So I'm just trying to be some relief, man, for, like I said, for kids, for adults, to just have somebody to talk to because we all need somebody to talk to. And, sometimes we don't want to talk to the person closer to you because they're right there. Let me just talk to somebody that don't know me, have no idea what I'm going, who I am, just to say, hey, man, just listen. And whatever you have to say back, I'm here to listen to it in return.
It's great stuff, Robert. Congratulations on all that. How would somebody get a hold of that clinic or get in touch?
Man, and we're online. You just go to Overstanding Wellness. We got a website. Referrals are online. The phone number's down there. We work with doctors. Our biggest thing is going into doctors' offices because we do a lot of referrals with the doctors because the doctors have a lot of patients that they deal with, and they don't have any outlets for them. So we're just trying to be a resource, man. As much as we can be a resource to help them, you can look up all the information. It'll all be there right there with a finger click away.
Awesome work that you're doing there, Robert, in the community. Brandon, any final words for you, my friend? I know this is one of your least favorite divisions to talk about, so you made it through.
Man, I thought it was great talk, man. A lot of good insight. This division is one of the most competitive divisions in all of football, so I think everybody's really going to watch that because I think the one who comes out might be the one who goes to the actual dance. So we'll see. Stay tuned. But it was a good show.
I thought this was the Bears' year. I thought this would be the Bears' year until I saw what the Rams have done in the offseason. And now I'm not so sure this is the year of the Bear. I'm not so sure.
One play away, Tim.
It's true.
It's all one play away.
Well, I expect that we will have an announcement on one of these shows that Aaron Donald is back in the NFL. It's right there, right? They keep talking about it. He hasn't signed yet. I imagine it'll be after training camp that he'll be like, you know what? I do want to play football. How about that? Who knew? So I guess we'll see. But All Donald's going to
him and Myles Garrett on the same team on the same team.
I don't even sound
real.
You block? That sounds like an all Madden team.
Who do you double team? It doesn't.
You block.
I don't know. You got to play 13 personnel and run one-man routes just to have a chance.
The last time a bona fide defensive end joined a bona fide defensive tackle, they won the Super Bowl. And
Who's
you know
that?
what team that was? Von Miller and Aaron Donald, the Rams.
Sure.
That's that type of player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
All
is
you
dangerous.
football nerds out there,
This is dangerous. Well,
gosh, I do not like it.
I've enjoyed this.
And
We'll
both
be
of
back,
them, both of them could still be playing because Von Miller's still playing. Aaron Donald can still play the game.
Yeah. Aaron
Darn
Donald quit
right.
because he felt like it, and now he feels like coming back, and I don't blame him. I think it's a smart choice on his end. Why not? Why not go wreak havoc?
And we're talking about a team that has a former Detroit Lion at quarterback that won a Super Bowl for the Rams.
Yep.
Matthew,
Hey,
I miss you, baby. I miss you.
Top five thrower to me ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
If you watch this film, ever.
I'm glad he got out of Detroit. I'm sorry, Robert,
Why?
but I'm glad he got out of Detroit so he could get his flowers somewhere.
Sorry,
He
Ken.
was never going to get them in Detroit.
He's
He
like,
was never going to get them in Detroit.
I gave it to him. I gave it to him all the time. I gave it to him.
You were the one. You were the one. Everyone will tell you, oh, man, Stafford's terrible. Did you not see what he did with Calvin Johnson? Did everybody miss that? It seems like they did. The same people miss that. The same people don't know who Barry Sanders are. Same
dude,
people.
it's like y'all had like three of the best of the top, I'd say 150 NFL players of all time.
Yes.
Like just
Yeah.
those type of guys only come around once in a generation. Barry, Calvin, and I'll throw Stafford in there just because, dude, he's an assassin with throwing the football. I haven't seen anybody like him since like Aaron Rodgers, prime Aaron Rodgers. That's what it looks like.
This is how I shut the show down. I
ridiculous.
only wish that Tony Romo would have had the same chance.
Man, hey, this is
go to another team
podcast,
and make it work.
Boy.
Yes, I got my Tony Romo moment in there. I'm so happy.
Man, this
Had
is
to
out the mud.
He had to bring it in.
I had to bring him in. He's just sitting outside.
His final takeaway is Tony Romo.
My
his
final
final
takeaway is I
takeaway.
wish Tony Romo would have gotten a chance like
Oh
that
my gosh,
to
bro.
go be appreciated somewhere and win a Super Bowl. That would have been fantastic. Get away from Jerry.
He has better luck winning a senior tour open.
Hey, that could be coming. Well, we got a couple weeks away from NCAA coming out. We're what 2 months away from Madden coming out, maybe less, and we're not far away
Hey,
from training camp.
Before you go any farther, what about that Madden curse? What
There's
about
no
that
such
Madden
thing
curse? We didn't talk
when it
about
comes
that.
to Chicago. We're too tough. Don't play the horns.
Taking a
Don't play
step
the
back,
horns.
I tell you.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
Yeah.
If we don't bring it up,
Oh,
it's not real.
Christian was on it.
It's like Trump said at one point. If we stop testing for COVID, there won't be any COVID. So if
You
we just
really
don't
did
talk
that.
about the Madden curse, there won't be a Madden curse. Isn't that how it works? We just ignore things and they go away.
Fake
We
news.
just ignore things.
All right.
And they go
I
away.
really wish you had used a different analogy because
I know.
that guy.
I know. Listen, I had to use the dumbest thing possible. I had to use the dumbest analogy possible. That was the dumbest one I could come up with. So, Trump's good for that. He gives us that on a daily
This
basis.
is the QB Huddle, man. Appreciate all you followers, man.
Oh, geez. Hey,
We may be here, we may not.
we won't be here.
it was
Wait. Why is there a black helicopter outside my window? I gotta go. No, I'm kidding. There's no black helicopters. Listen, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you two quarterbacks. I got the opportunity to be a quote unquote coach with both of you on my team at one point. That was fun. Wish we could run that back one more time. Maybe with the Apex. Who knows? Brandon wants to play football again. He told me. I don't know if that's true. Robert, we need to get you on the golf course, brother. We need to see you out there. You've been out there with us before. We need to get Shannon out there. By the way, QB Huddlers, our relationship with Coach Shannon Harris sprouted from Mr. Robert Kent when he invited the QB Huddle out to a pro tryout combine at Arena Football, and he introduced us. He went out of his way to introduce us to the great Coach Shannon Harris, and we appreciate that because we've been friends with him ever since. So, good friendships last. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. We've been on a lot today, but we were looking forward to this division next week. It's the AFC South, and that will wrap up our division conversations as we roll into training camp. We see that Detroit Lions. It's a good looking hat, by the way. Good looking hat. I will say that.
Thank you very much.
Hey, we'll be back next Tuesday at noon. Until then, keep those chains moving, folks. We'll see you.